The doorbell sounded at 602 North Springfield Avenue, Gary answering the summons. The person inquiring was Dr. Donald Ransom, a familiar acquaintance from Jan and Gary's servitude at the Anthony and Kiowa hospitals. The doctor, a surgeon providing his expertise at several medical facilities within a fortuitous radius of his Medicine Lodge, Kansas home. Gary's curiosity for the visit was answered, Don venturing an invitation for the Willson to join him and his wife Barbara in an impressive business opportunity called Amway. Gary and Jan having been surreptitiously introduced to an Amway proposal earlier by a nursing friend of Jan's in Walkeeta, Oklahoma, the couple having accepted an invitation to journey to the town south of Anthony. The gathering's purpose not divulged until the beginning of the presentation, Gary finding little interest in the endeavor, but finding the host and others in attendance were very congenial, as were the snacks provided. Dr. Don's marketing presentation was more meaningful, his professional integrity giving gravity to the Amway organization. Gary very much impressed with the doctor's enlightened presentation, realization that as an Amway distributor you didn't sell merchandise, but purchased the quality Amway products for your own use, the financial benefit coming from a commensurate of establishing other to do likewise. The corporation being structured as a motivational continuity, each distributor encouraged to enroll others and for them to do likewise. The organizational chart providing point values, with designated levels with names such as Diamond, Emerald, Ruby, Platinum, Gold, and Silver, all dependent on the quantity of members in your group, and the volume of merchandise that you and your sponsored representative distributed. The couple deciding to bond with Dr. Ransom and his wife as their upline sponsor in the Amway enterprise, discovering when attending their first meeting at Century 2 in Wichita, a host of professionals, doctors, attorneys, business owners, all well-dressed, with pad and pencils, taking notes from a renowned motivational speaker. The Amway group being mastered by a Diamond family residing in Wichita, Jim and Marcia McAnarney, Dr. Don's immediate upline being a respected plumbing supply distributor, Earl Cara, and his wife Rhonda. Gary, although agreeing with the premise of the endeavor, was not immediately receptive, somewhat reluctant for a total commitment, but Jan's vigor was respected. A suspicion that her ambition as a nurse and being engaged in a business venture with a physician, was a profession attribute. Gary began to acquire enthusiasm for the indicative program, the undertaking of discerning and sponsoring acquaintances whom he thought would have an understanding and conception of the benefits and opportunities of the Amway program. Dr. Don joining Gary in his solicitation of Amway downline participants, with tripod and diagrams, and the doctor's presence, his regal descriptive message acquiring prestige and plaudits to the program. Gary discovering, once a new distributor applicant has attended a larger Amway function, the cognizance of the inception would be recognized, not as a convenience, but one that could be fabricated as an income-multiplying asset with unlimited potential, and evident by the distinguished presence of the Diamonds, Emerald, and Ruby level members in attendance. Dr. Ransom, his wife Barbara, their Chevrolet Suburban journeying south to Interstate 40, Jan and Gary, 2 of the 6 consigned to the conveyance, the group's destination, Albuquerque, New Mexico, a baronial Amway weekend symposium at the Kiva Convention Center. The center providing seating for 6,000, more than adequate for the joint venture of the McAnarney's organization, the World Information Network, shortened to the acronym, WIN. The Wichita-based group having diverged from the Flying Eagles, a larger Amway group, encompassing Kansas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico, both groups in attendance. The stellar groups almost filling the hall, the Willsons seated taking notice. Instead of the accustomed motivational speaker colloquy, the host introducing a different format with a movie screen being lowered. The full-length Hollywood production of the 1993 film Rudy, starring Sean Astin, began. With the movie's conclusion, the lights coming up, and to the awe of those in attendance, the host announcing, "Ladies and gentlemen, Rudy Ruetiger," and from behind the curtain, the real-life person the film depicted appeared on stage. The afternoon convocation of Rudy Ruetiger energizing, Rudy behind the podium exhibiting motivational presentation to a stunned audience. The afternoon program concluding, Gary inquisitive as to what the evening would instill that could crest the accolade of the afternoon's event. The evening hour motivational palaver beginning, the unannounced entertainment to follow. The education portion coming to a conclusion, the stage curtains opening to a very recognizable renowned band, Paul Revere and the Raiders, a celebrated group apropos to the age of much of the audience. The experience of Albuquerque, the journey to and from Kansas, a memorable perspicacity for those who indulge in the contentedness of Amway's incentives, and its projected motivation of achievement. Gary discovering the Amway Association having opened a new social perspective to a community of people whose ideals, morality, and principles were transcendent. The McInernys having procured a 50-acre lake near the intersection of Interstate 235 and Highway 42, within the city limits of Wichita, for the expressed purpose as a recreational reward to those who were adjutant in their Amway avocation. Gary's certainty in building a distributor association having significantly increased, an invitation was extended to a small number of distributors in recognition of their ongoing achievements. Included was the Willsons, Ransoms, and their young children. The lake and its accessories of motorized water accoutrements, including boats, Yamaha wave runners, and ski-doo jet skis, all providing an afternoon of enlightenment. The invited guests provided a late afternoon meal in the boathouse lodge, followed by a business program in the residency adjoining the lodge. Diamonds Jim and Marcia providing many incentives to their downline distributors, with a continual recognition and acknowledgement, leasing Wichita's Joyland Amusement Park for a Saturday afternoon's private use by the family members of the Wynn organization. The Willson family spending the day along with several hundred in attendance, almost all familiar faces. Gary finding an aura of harmony among the group, a sense of a concordance, a like-minded Amway family of marketeers.